Hey, everybody. Welcome to today's interview. I'm Lisa LeClaire Schaefer from Natural Solutions Nutrition, and with me is the wonderful, athletic, and healthy Ashlie Angel. Hi, Ashlie. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited you're here. It's an honor to have an athlete of your stature with us. And saying that, I just want to take a minute, and I actually want to read all that I have here about what your background is, because actually it's very impressive, and it really all comes together to have this kind of background with the kind of conversations I like to have to share with people about this mission we're on to helping people find health in all kinds of fields. So let me just read this. So Ashlie has been an outpatient orthopedic physical therapist for the past 18 years, but she's also a certified orthopedic manual therapist. And doing those, she's had her own cash practice for many years. What I love too is that Ashlie has a nutritional science degree as well as an education in chemical engineering. She's also been a sponsored Xterra off-road triathlete and mountain biker. I love that. I mean, that's big time stuff, Ashlie. So she's been doing that for the last 16 years, but she's also an Xterra national champion and was the second at the ITU World Championships. And that's a big deal. Ashlie was also a Division I cross-country and track athlete when she went to college on a full sponsored scholarship at Kansas State University. So pretty impressive credentials. Thank you so much for taking some time to chat with me today.
Absolutely.
You're awesome.
Thank you for that intro.
Sure. So Ashlie and I have some things in common that we talk about when we're talking about health, but I don't have the background in athletics like you do. And I know there's lots of people who are looking to get healthier, take care of themselves now and into the future. And I think that's where you can really help us out with some of your history, your knowledge, and where you're headed. Does that sound good?
Absolutely.
All right. So do you want to, kind of talk about from whence you came? I mean, you were a college athlete and now you're a little bit older. So let's share with us what you've done in the past to help you be healthy and kind of the experiences you've had along the way. Please.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've always been passionate about optimizing health. I mean, even when I was younger and getting the most out of my body, but the resources back then were just so different 30 years ago. I mean, I'll just lay it out there. I'm 42. I've been at this a long time. So, I used to run in Keds and a cotton white sports bra, and I would eat a big bowl of pasta before my cross country races. And it was all carbs and no fat, and I knew nothing about hydration. And consequently, over the years, I had tons of injuries into my collegiate career. I've broken my back. I've been paralyzed. I've had multiple wrist fractures and 3 concussions and multiple knee surgeries and ankle fractures, you name it. And I think a lot of that, led me to learn more and more about what I could do to optimize my health and nail down my nutrition. I mean, I used to every year at the World Championships cross the finish line in Maui and literally pass out and wake up in the medical tent with an IV in me. And so, that's where I came from. And I was trying to eat lots of vegetables and eat my big giant bowls of pasta, but I didn't know as much back then.
Right. You didn't know as much, but I also think we knew less,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
So what have you seen? I mean, we don't run in Keds anymore, we don't run in Keds anymore.
Right.
I remember them.
Yeah, it's interesting, Lisa. My journey, I'm always on this quest to learn more, but with my background, it's got to be rooted in science. And in addition, my genes are that every one of my family dies of cancer or heart disease.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
And so I was always looking for ways to kind of be better. And about 5 years ago, I also got out of the water at the national championships, wanted to crawl under a tree and die. I still had to bike and run, and I was a contender to win. And here I finished so far back, I knew something was wrong. And
Wow.
I found out I had Epstein-Barr and adrenal fatigue and hormone imbalance. And, this really started me down a journey of what can I do to be healthier? because as athletes, I really feel like we're kind of like trash cans, and we push our bodies so hard, and there's this fine line. And if you don't push all the way to that line, you don't maximize your potential. And if you push over that line, you end up with injuries and things like adrenal fatigue and chronic fatigue. And it's just a deep, dark hole that a lot of my peers, as well as myself, have been in.
Wow.
And so once I found myself there, I thought, what can I do to get out of this and stay out of this? And that really led me down a journey of discovering biohacking, which is really optimizing your human biology, and specifically doing that through nutrigenomics, which is nutrition affecting gene expression, which was critical to me because of my genetics that weren't exactly awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how I learned about activating pathways in my body, which has been a game changer.
Wow.
So,
that's fantastic. And those are terms that we talk about here before, the nutrigenomics and the biohacking, but the way you just use them is a little different than I use them, because I'm usually working with people that are sick, and we don't think of athletes as sick. And that's what really got me excited. It sounds wrong, excited, but to talk to you, because there's a lot of athletes like yourself who've been doing this for years who don't realize that, well, maybe they do realize that they're not really actually all that well inside, but that in the changing times, there's more things available to them, would you say?
absolutely. And I think, we're perceived as being so healthy, and there are so many amazing things about being an athlete, but we are also so hard on our bodies. We consume more food than the average person. We consume more oxygen than the average person. Every day that we're out there, we're tearing our bodies down, and then that increases all of our inflammation, and then we have to heal from that. So the number one thing for an athlete is recovery, recovery, recovery. Whoever nails their training and recovers is going to be the one who wins. And so unfortunately, there's this thing called oxidative stress that we are all exposed to. We can't get away from it. But as athletes, we actually have more of it. And this builds up in our body, and it is at the root of everything you don't want. And so, when I was studying biohacking, I was really learning about how to activate the NRF2 pathway, which is clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. Now, when I started doing this was huge because, like I said, athletes have more oxidative stress. We have more inflammation, so activating this pathway actually reduces inflammation as well. There's patents on that. Activating this pathway also increases our body's production of glutathione by 300%. Yes. Now, athletes, a lot of us know about glutathione already because just some of the benefits are lessens muscle fatigue and exhaustion, increased stamina and endurance, reduces lactic acid, improves cardiovascular function, quickens recovery time, strengthens the immune system, protects your body from injury, reduces muscle stress, decreases inflammation, maintains muscle growth. Those are just a few of the things which are obviously critical for athletes. So when I started activating this NRF2 pathway, this is just my story and I won't make any claims, but within 2 weeks, I had an increase in my recovery time, which again, in real estate, it's location, location, location. For athletes, it's recovery, recovery, recovery. So especially as we age, that's the number one thing that an aging athlete, and I'll throw myself in that box, is that, our recovery times usually increase. And that is not what I've been experiencing.
Wow, no kidding. I mean, usually it's the opposite.
Absolutely, yeah. And so, as I delved more into biohacking, I also learned how to activate the NRF1 pathway.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this pathway is responsible for mitochondria, which is a big, long, fancy word, but that is our powerhouse of our cells. They're in every cell of our body, and they're responsible for our energy. And so if I can activate that pathway, as soon as I started activating that, holy cow, my recovery times went down. it was astounding. I'm 42. I think I mentioned that. And so most of my peers are not experiencing this kind of recovery. And so this is critical, especially for someone who's been at it for so long.
Right.
And let me just throw out right now that all of this is BSCG certified, which is Banned Substance Control Group. So this is critical because literally, especially in the NCAA, I was pulled out of class on a very regular basis and tested. And I can be tested at any event right now as well. So that's key. The other thing that I do is I activate that Nerve2 pathway specifically in my brain. And what this does is this increases focus and clarity. It increases energy. It enhances mood. And I'll tell you, when I'm out racing, most of my races are around 3 hours. All of those things are critical. If I can stay upbeat and positive and have energy and stay focused, that's huge. That's huge.
Right.
And again, most of us are looking for a 1 to 3% advantage. If you can get that, that is huge. When you're talking about races that are typically won in seconds, if you can get a 1 to 3% advantage, that's critical.
So Ashlie, so you're saying that you truly have, not only are you performing better and having faster, stronger, better recovery, but you literally have increased your edge, your competitive edge. You've just moved yourself up the ranks. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. I have been a national champion, and you might say, okay, well, what else? What's on top of that?
Yeah. What's next? Right?
I'm getting faster. To me, it's always been about how I can improve myself. I would honestly rather be faster next year and place third than win and be slower.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm seeing is I'm getting faster. In addition, I don't hurt anymore. I think that is critical. I think my inflammation has been reduced so much that all these old chronic injuries are gone.
Wow.
In addition, I no longer have asthma, which is key, and I'm off all my asthma medications. So I'm just overall healthier. And you typically do not hear this from someone. Typically do not get healthier between 30 and 40.
No, definitely not.
Especially when you're pushing.
Right.
So, that's my story. The other component that I feel is really critical is that I'm on a very good probiotic. And
good. Please tell us about that.
Yeah. So, and the key is that it is a good one because the average probiotic is 4% effective. The one I'm on is actually 60% effective. So 15 times more effective. Now, again, I said I consume more calories than the average person. My gut is working overtime all the time. During race season, I lie in bed and there's just heat radiating off of me because my whole system is just working overtime all the time. And so I'm having to process all of that food. And a lot of times I'm also having to process food when I'm going as hard as I can, riding through the forest or whatever, which is not exactly good on the GI system. So a probiotic is key. And, I feel like my whole gut has kind of normalized since I started taking a probiotic. And I'm able to actually absorb foods better than I used to.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't get sick anymore, which is
go ahead.
Because it's something as athletes, when we're pushing hard, our immune systems are suppressed. And so a lot of times I would do a race and then hop into a plane and get sick. And now I'm activating that Nerve2 pathway as well as taking that probiotic, which are both enhancing my immune system.
That is beautiful. And I'm going to say that, we're both talking about the same issues, but on a very different level. I'm meeting people that don't feel well and they don't know why. And you are living and working with people who know why, but didn't know what to do about it either. So the combination of these things that you just threw out there that you do, the NRF1 pathway, the NRF2 pathway, using the NRF2 pathway to our brain, and the probiotic, it's the same things I talk about as well. And there are products that we didn't mention that work with each of these. We have a Protandim NRF1 that's working with the mitochondria. That's the Protandim NRF1. Protandim NRF2 is opening the NRF2 pathway to start that recovery process, right? Am I speaking the same athletic language for you?
Absolutely.
Yep. Axio is the name of a drink that opens that NRF2 pathway for your focus and your mental endurance so that you can get from, 26 miles away to the finish line. Do I have that right too?
Absolutely.
And then probiotics, I think that so much of health begins in the gut. So I have always loved probiotics, and the one we're discussing is the Physique probiotic. And we both are working in the same field, working as distribution people, trying to get these to the public. That's why we're here today. And just educating everybody of what it is and the high level of these products in particular, the cleanliness of them, where they come from, tracking them, each piece having its own piece of science that no one else has in their products is what makes us fire up, right? Are you fired up?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're seeing yourself at 42 perform better than you did in your 20s.
Yeah, you've got it.
Right.
You've got it.
Right. And I'm 55 and I have more energy and feel better every day than I did when I was 40. I know I can think back that far and say I feel better today than before I was introduced to this stuff. So
absolutely.
Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up? Because I know I don't want to take too much more of your time. You're amazing.
Oh, well, thank you. No, I mean, really, these products have changed my life. Not only from an athletic standpoint, but that is my passion. And so to be able to continue to do what I'm passionate about, because, 5-10 years ago, I had so many chronic injuries and I was in so much pain all the time that I did not know what the next 30 years would be like. And so to be out of pain and to be feeling so healthy and full of energy and to be able to do the things that I'm passionate about, that's changed my life. So,
girl,
yeah.
That's why I do it too. It is so fulfilling to see other people get well. It's just amazing.
Right.
Ashlie, thank you so much for this information. I know that by sharing this, we're going to be able to help a lot of other athletes, keep fulfilling their passion and growing and getting better and enjoying their life. So thank you tons.
You're welcome. Thanks so much. My honor.
All right. Thanks, everybody. If you have any questions, just Facebook, give me a message on Facebook and we'll get answers for you. Is that cool, Ash?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Stay tuned for next time. Again, thank you, Ashlie Angel, professional athlete. See you.
Bye.